Hello, how you doing? Tis I, ASMR Classic, again. Thank you so much for all your kind comments in the last little video. As I keep mentioning, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And if that happens, I think then we start to earn some money from this channel. Move that out of the way. And we're going to start writing some ASMR, special ASMR content for this channel as well, through the not-for-profit theatre company that I'm involved with. Someone did suggest as well we set up a PayPal donation account, but that's all fairly complicated. I'll have to research that. And Patreon, both of which I know exist. But thank you for the idea. And I thought, because we're still, January that the way anyway, depending on when you're listening to this. Oh, hang on. Sorry about that. I think I might have mentioned once before. I've got my phone kind of tied up here. And if this does carry on and we do get monetized, I'm going to have to get me a camera, aren't I? I think that might stay for a bit longer, and if not, I shall do an edit, because I'm able to do that. Yeah, it seems to be holding up. It's my phone, as I say, I've got it kind of tied up and strapped up, and it's not pretty, but hopefully it does the job for now. So, yes, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, we're working for a not-for-profit theatre company, and we're hoping that, things might move on, and if they don't, they don't. But thank you very much for being here, because you being here, of course, is making all the difference. And I thought, as my RSC coaster, I thought what we'd do is have another quick look into this book, because there were some lovely comments about the writers. And I got this from our local bookshop in London. Excuse me. Cold back again. I tend to spend too much time around Notting Hill and Chiswick. There's some great little bookshops in both areas if you ever come to London. This is from a shop called Everybody Reads, as you can see. And it's a book lover's journal, 2025, including writers such as David Nichols, Marian Keyes, Lisa Jewell, Freya North, Mick Heron, Janice Hallett, Matt Cain, Claire Pooley, Joe Haddo, Fiona Valpy, Damien Barr, good old Damien, Erica Waller, Alexander Potter, Dorothy Coomson, Patrice Lawrence, Tasmina Perry, C.W. Ray, Lucy Atkins, Mike Gale, who I think I mentioned before, I worked with his brother for a while on a radio station in Birmingham, in the Midlands, in the English Midlands, Matt Coyne, Alex Hay, Daisy Buchanan, and Simon Pegg, who's probably known to you if you've ever watched Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead. Simon's an actor, but he also writes. I thought we might just have a quick little look through here again. I don't knock over my phone. There we go. As you can see, signed by Freya North, Matt Coyne, and Patrice Lawrence. Book Lover's Journal. And this is where we ended up last time. Let's have a quick look through. This book belongs to no one. I'd like to try and give it to someone though. So if you want it, just let me know. Oops. And then I've gone through this last time, but I might just briefly remind us, because obviously I imagine you're a book lover. So this journal is, as it says, a treasure trove for any bookworm, filled with content to entertain and inspire you. I created it because it's a book that I really wanted myself. An old-fashioned diary for all my appointments and important dates, with space for me to jot down thoughts, lists, and all those important things I mustn't forget, as well as a record of my bookish year. I am the author of 16 best-selling novels, but I would never have written my first book had I not been an impassioned reader. I love it when someone presses a book into my hands imploring me to read this. And I am addicted to that sensation of finishing a book, immobilized by the emotions that the story created in me, the immersive world the author invited me into, characters who are people I'll never truly forget. You could say writing is my calling, and my love of reading led me here. I hope you love... I had to sneeze then, sorry about that. Where are we? Yes, okay, here we go. I hope you love the exclusive interviews, as well as all the other content which has been such a joy to bring you. Ever wondered how a final book cover comes to be? Or which authors use a bookmark or shock horror folder corner? We mentioned that last time as well, didn't we? Want to see what's on your favourite author's to-be-read list? Who is an e-book reader? Who loves a good old-fashioned print copy? Yeah, I've used both. I think I mentioned last time I actually bought an e-book and then bought the print copy the following day. It was a bit silly of me. More money in the sense when it comes to books, and they are a bit kind of addictive, aren't they? Need an idea for a book to give you as a gift? Why not let these authors recommend one? It's all in here, plus plenty of room for you to jot down your own notes, quotes, and anecdotes. And I mentioned this also last time, best of all, buying this journal, whether for yourself or someone else, you are providing a donation to Book Trust, an incredible charity working tirelessly to support children from low-income and vulnerable families, ensuring everyone in the UK can enjoy the lifelong benefits of reading. Book Trust is a charity I admire so much, and I am very grateful to you for supporting them. This is your 2025, and this is your book lover's journal. A keepsake filled with words, wisdom and humour from fabulous writers I admire, some of whom I'm honoured to call friends. With my warmest wishes, Freya North, editor of the Book Lover's Journal. So it's a nice introduction. Here is Freya, if I can move, yes. There she is, the author of 16 best-selling books, as she says. One of the UK's best-loved authors of contemporary domestic drama. Freya holds degrees in art history from Manchester University and the Courtauld Institute, and worked as a picture researcher for a number of publishers before her debut novel Sally was published in 1996. So I think I read this last time, so I won't go through it all again, but we'll dive in. We asked authors to tell us about the books. Where are we going to see it? All right. About the books they often give as gifts. Damien Barr, who we mentioned last time as well. Tales of the City by Armistead Maupin, closely tied with various volumes of poetry by Mary Oliver, because there is a Mary for every occasion. Don't believe me? Read Beans. I think Mary Oliver, what was that quote? What is it you're going to do with your one precious life? Or was it your one precious fantastic life? I just looked it up really, shouldn't I? Daisy Buchanan, I think it might be Life is Meals by James and Case Salter. 365 tiny, beautiful essays about food, one for every day of the year. I'd love to give this as a wedding present. That's kind of nice, isn't it? Joe Hadro, a writer, said, "Oh, that's a tough one. It's probably Wonder by R.J. Palissier." Said that right, haven't I? Yes, I think I give it to readers of any age. It's a beautiful, positive, life-affirming story. Looks a little bit like the cover for A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess, doesn't it? And Dorothy Crimson, The High Rise Mystery Books by Shane Sharma Jackson. I think that's right. Patrice Lawrence would give, there we go, Ingrid Persuades Love After Love, which is another book that had me crying in public. I'm also a sucker for anything signed by an author. So am I. If there's a signed book, I always tend to get it. I've actually got an idea for a novel. Is it? Yeah, that I'm probably going to get round to doing. just because I'm getting on and I need the experience. I've done a couple of books and a few plays and a screenplay, but the novel, I quite fancy doing that. I'll let you know if it happens. Mike Gale, who I mentioned with, he would give the best gift. The book that he would give often as gifts is Unreliable Memories by Clive James. And I think we mentioned this last time as well, didn't we? There's an hilarious description of a go-kart race when James was a child in it that's worth the cover price alone. And of course Clive James, TV personality and writer, used to write in Soho. In fact, I think there's a pub in Soho. It used to be called the Pillars of Hercules. And there's a Manette Lane, I think, next to it, which was a nod to Charles Dickens. I actually don't think the Pillars of Hercules are called that now. I'm going in on Saturday. I'm into Soho. I'll go and have a look for you. But he used to write quite often. He used to write it there, I do believe. And in fact, he may actually have a book called The Pillars of Hercules, named after one of his favourite pubs. That's just a memory that's come to me. I haven't checked it up or anything. And of course, Freya North, who's edited this, she's put, I have 3 mainstays, and we're talking double figures for each. The Red Tent by, Anita Diamond, which I've given to the woman in my life who means the most to me, Mr. Pip by Lloyd Jones. A short, gorgeous novel set in the South Pacific, seen through the eyes of a child, tells the story of the only white man there, who is also the only teacher, and the only other book he has to teach with, is Great Expectations. Another is Kitchen of the Great Midwest by J. Ryan Stradle, a quirky and pacey novel telling the life of Eva Thorvald, a famous but reclusive chef who as a child was obsessed with and able to eat the hottest chili peppers on earth. Ooh. I quite like a chili, but I can't really stick it with curry. So that was very introduction. I thought we'd just take a little quick dip into this, and I've got another little magazine over here I might share with you for writers. But judge a book. Let me go into where I marked last time. I really need to get a microphone that's not standing here as well, so sorry about that. It's supposed to be relaxing, it can't be with me mic falling over and camera getting bashed. Anywho, David Nichols, we mentioned him last time. One of the best and most loved writers in the English language, a master storyteller. One Day, which I think they made into a film as well, did they? And we've talked about David last time. He has the authors he has on Auto by Roddy Doyle, Sally Rooney, and so on. Roddy Doyle, did he write Paddy Clark? Ha ha ha. Yes. Or was it Commitments? Can't remember. You'll probably know. And then I'm going to go over here, because this is someone that we haven't looked at before. Claire Pooley. I don't think we have anyway. I don't think we mentioned her. Or maybe we did actually. That's the thing in the London literary pub crawl, which I'm quite keen on. Which goes out in London, in fact in Soho, Fitzrovia in Soho, central London. Goes out every Saturday, and then yes, I think they do private tours as well. But Claire Pooley graduated from Newham College in Cambridge. Oops, sorry, I should have turned me flipping things off, shouldn't I? Yes, I should have done. Newham College, Cambridge, and there we go. Spent 20 years in the heady world of advertising before becoming a full-time mom. I think we looked at her last time, didn't we? How to age disgracefully. Sounds kind of cool. But I don't know if I read this last time, and if you're a writer you might understand. You've written fiction and memoir. Do you feel more confident or more vulnerable in one over the other? And she says, I definitely felt more vulnerable when writing memoir. Makes sense. However, the effect of writing a memoir, of documenting my thoughts and feelings, has made me better equipped to write the thoughts and feelings of fictional characters. I approach writing my characters in much the same way as I wrote about myself, and I think it's made my fiction writing more real, although I thought that writing fiction would be very different. Actually, it was more similar than I thought it was going to be. With fiction, you can be just as revealing, but you can hide your own truths inside your characters. Do you fastidiously plan out your novels? No. I like to have a rough sketch for where I'm going, but when I'm planning in my head, I never write any of it down. Where are we? Yes. Never write any of it down, because I think if I then forget something, it can't have been that good anyway. I remember someone else saying to me, I never carry a notebook. For the same reason, he said, I don't need a notebook. If the idea is good enough, it'll stay in my mind. Oops, and there she is there. Favourite read of last year, In Memoriam by Alice Wynne. I have a son who's just left school, so this story of teenage boys in the trenches moved me so much. I must mention here, because she's got Bridget down, dream job when you were little. Once I'd worked out I was unlikely to be the Queen, I decided I wanted to be a novelist. Great. The book that captivated you as a child, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. I still can't open a large wooden wardrobe without wondering whether it might be the gateway to Narnia. Which authors are an auto-buy for you? Taylor Jenkins Reid, David Nichols, Jojo Moyes, Freya North and Lisa Jewell, amongst many others. And this is an interesting book you wish you'd written. Bridget Jones' Diary by Helen Fielding, or The Diary of Adrian Mole by Sue Townsend, both genius. I also read quite a lot of psychological thrillers. Well, I don't know how those authors managed to live with those dark and frightening worlds in their head. What do you do when your words don't float? I go for a walk. It's amazing how physical movement, especially outdoors, can unstick your imagination. If that doesn't work, I eat cake. Cake doesn't help the words flow, but it makes me feel better about being stuck. Oh, bookmark or corner fold. Corner fold over, I'm afraid. Do you hate me? Claire Pooley. Fold over. And I thought we'd just have a quick flick and see if there's anyone else of interest. Someone did make the comment that actually it was it's nice to kind of meet new writers, which I suppose it's absolutely right, isn't it? Because we all know the massive names. Davina. Oh, I suppose we could look at this, shall we? It's not a writer, but it's an agent. It's a short thing here. Take 5 with, oops. Davina Andrew Lynch. Davina is an agent at Curtis Brown, a famous agency. Oh, let me move this book more. Who represent children's and YA writers and illustrators across the genres, as well as a growing list of commercial adult fiction. Davina is also co-founded in conjunction with Faber Children's, the FAB Prize, which aims to discover unpublished children's writers and illustrators from black and ethnic minority backgrounds. It's a great thing to do. What was your route into the job? I always knew I wanted to be an agent. I just didn't know exactly what type of creative I wanted to represent. Whilst at university, I started interning and then doing part-time work for a small literary agency, sidestepped and worked my way up in a film TV agency, ran my own agency for 7 years, and then joined Curtis Brown. Was there a book you connected with when you were a teen? There are a number of books, actually. My teenage years took place during the late 90s, early 2000s, so I was incredibly lucky to be around when some of the biggest and most popular children's series of recent decades were on the scene, the most obvious being Harry Potter, but also Northern Lights by Philip Pullman, Armitage Fowl by Ian Colfer, and the I can't read that, Bartimaeus trilogy by Jonathan Stroud, Noughts and Crosses by Marjorie Blackman, and The Spooks Apprentice by Joseph Delaney. Though it's fairly cliche to say, I truly believe this period was a golden age in children's literature. It's definitely informed the type of stories I search for today. What's on your to-be-read list? Actually, I'm in the midst of a classics run, so for now, let's say books by Jules Verne. To be honest, the TBR list is so long, there's no way I could list them all. For the most part, authors are usually wonderfully creatively unpredictable. The book you give most often as a gift. I don't have one specific book, to be honest. I think the choice in finding books to suit the reader and then learning it was the right choice. That's an agent's answer, isn't it? So definitely, Andrew Lynch. I should probably leave it here because I don't want to go on for too long. But I just thought it was worth another little dip into here. Marian Keyes is another writer. Needs no introduction. Multi-million copy, internationally best-selling author of some of the most widely loved genre-defined novels of the past 30 years, including Rachel's Holiday, Anybody Out There, and Grown-Ups. Good name. In addition to 16 novels, Marian has also written 3 collections of journalism upon which hit BBC Radio 4 show Between Ourselves was based. Marian co-hosts the popular show Now You're Asking with actress Tara Flynn for BBC Radio 4, and she lives in Dunlow in Dublin. Oh, lovely. There you go, Marian. She's a bit too smart, actually. She's done a bit too much, I think. So anyway, I hope you've kind of enjoyed that little dive back into the book. If you want it, let me know. I'm not quite sure how I'll get it to you, but I've actually got 2 diaries that I'm working with at the moment, so I might actually get one of these for next year for that's my 2026 creature notebook, because there's a fair bit of space at the back, I think, there's a castle stack. It's all about you. There you go. Books I've read on my TBR. Sometimes it's good to write things down. I write too much stuff down. And I will actually show you the smart writing set I've got. I keep sort of mentioning that. I'll try and leave a note to remind myself to do that. But once again, thank you so much for your company. I hope you found it interesting and relaxing, hopefully, even if you're not a full-time writer yourself. And as I say, if you'd like to press the button down here or whatever and subscribe if you haven't, that would be fantastic. And what else do? You share and press a bell. Does that make sense? Yeah, not completely YouTube savvy. But again, thank you so much for your company, and I shall see you next time. And in the words of Charles Dickens, bless us all, everyone.